I recently made a video about no country for black men, and with recent happenings, I'm still thinking whether there's any real country for black men. With the recent shooting by the five policemen, I am wondering where can black men go and feel safe? If they're not safe in their own country, there must be other places that they can visit or they can live and feel safe. So I'm looking back on this, and I am always of the view that every black person, not just black men, should spend at least 6 to 1 year outside of America, preferably in a black run country, preferably in a country where majority of the people there are black. I am talking about places like in Africa, most African countries, the government, the system is run by black people, and the majority of the population is black. And then you have countries in the Caribbean as well, black countries where majority of the people there are black. When you look at the government makeup, over 90% of them are black. Those places spend at least 6 to 1 year in one of those countries. At recent, one of my good friend, girlfriend, came from America and she's now living in Jamaica. And she was telling me the difference within a month of living here. She was telling me all the difference with living here. Things like water, food, vegetables, fruits, all of those fresh stuff that she can get here directly from the trees, directly from the ground, without the pollution, the contamination. That alone is one of the reasons why she loves it here. And I mentioned another thing to her because when I lived overseas for quite a few years. And when I returned to Jamaica, because I went there during my teenage years and came back in my 20s, and I was telling her that one of the things that I like with moving back here is that I am a person. I am not a black woman. I am seen as a person. When I live overseas, when I'm starting a new job, wherever I go, whatever it is, the first thing is that you're black and a woman. When you're here starting a new job, you just know you're a person starting a new job. You're on the road, you're a person. You're a person, you're not a statistic. You're not a data. You're not part of the data. You're a person. So that's one of the good things of living in a black country. You intermingle, you're part of the population, and you're not seen as something that's weird or someone that's strange. You're a part of everyone. So that's another reason why I would suggest that every black person or every black man live overseas for at least 6 months to 1 year in a black run country. I know that there's a lot of black men on YouTube. They're going to places like Thailand, they're going to places like Colombia, Brazil. When I look at the government makeup of these countries, they're still run by people that don't look like us. Majority of the population are people that don't look like us. So even when you go there and try to intermingle, yes, it's like living in America, but without maybe some of the stress, or maybe the government is not run by the white man, but it's still run by people who don't look like me and you. So those are the advantages. I'm not saying that there aren't problems in these countries. There are problems everywhere. People get killed here. There are crime violent. There are criminals everywhere. But the problem that most black people have, the racism, being a statistic, being part of the data. When you live in a black run country, you don't feel that. You don't feel that you're part of the data. So I've always said not to give up on America and not to move from America completely, but to experience life elsewhere outside of the hustle and bustle, outside of the running of these countries. Another thing that you're gonna experience is a trade-off. It will be a trade-off. Don't move from America into a third world black-run country and expect to get the sunshine, get the beaches, get all those good stuff, live with black people among your own people, and still have everything that you had in America. I'm talking about things like great roads, great facilities, great infrastructure, good governance. All of these things you have to trade off. There is a trade off. So when you go into the supermarket and you are standing at the cashier line, back in America, um, the cashiers do move fast and get things done quickly. One of the things one of the things that a lot of Americans complain about is how slowly we move. We don't move as fast as them. So the trade-off, you have to trade off something. You're gonna give up your the mental stress that you have in America, for something here, but then you're gonna give up something good in America for the life that you have here as well. So you have to trade off something. So that is what I wanted to say this morning. Is there any country for black men in particular? I don't know. I think black men should visit other countries, as I stated before. Preferably spend 6 to 1 year in outside of the USA. Preferably a country that's black run, where you're not seen as an outsider. You're not seen as, oh, that's a black man. No, you're part of the community. Spend 6 months to 1 year in that country. See what it's like living there. Live as part of the locals. Get a job, a local job, if you can, in those countries. Get up every morning, go to work 9 to 5, or start some sort of local business there and see what it's like living as a local person in those countries. Don't live in the city area, in the tourist, where you're gonna see people just like yourself. You're gonna see fellow Americans, and move to the urban or the suburbs, rural areas, where you're gonna see people going to fetch water from the spring, fresh water, spring water directly from the earth. Live somewhere where you have natural fruits, natural plants, organic vegetables directly from the earth. Look at those places. If you can't find a job, budget yourself. Go on a budget for whatever amount you think the cost of living is, and give it a try, just to experience something different from what you are used to.